All right, so today's power was transform. I definitely had some trouble with this one, mostly because the original power that I was thinking of drawing was going to be one shot blow, right? Which is more of like a like that Saitama kind of feeling. And so I started trying to draw that, and I just couldn't quite get it right today. But I still like the pose that I drew, so I was like, it's one of those things where it's like, do I feel like scrapping this and starting all over from like stage one? So I was like, we'll keep it and see what I still have left on the list. Speaking of which, I think this pose is pretty freaking good. I think that I did a pretty good freaking job at drawing all the anatomy and stuff. So that was a big reason why I wanted to keep it. I think I don't know, because I tried to go with more of a box than a circle when drawing my anatomy, because normally I do like a sideways like oval kind of shape, and then like frontways oval kind of shape, and then like that's how I normally draw like the top part. But I think especially with him wearing a hoodie, I think it comes. I think that having it be like this more of a boxy shape, because the like everything kind of gets simplified with the hoodie on. So I think having the boxes, I think, is what made it helpful. We did take a brief detour to explore another pose here, as you can see. That was for acid breath, which don't know when I'm making that one because I don't feel like it, right? But yeah, so I did end up going here, and I ended up doing transform. I drew some wings because wings are cool. That's a fun fact. Not what fucking wings look like. Fun fact. That's actually not all what they look like. So did have to go in a little bit later and adjust that. Also hit him with a tail, just because you got to, right? Right. Ended up adding some horns, making it look nice and satanic. I was thinking of two tails, but I was like, whoa, not too freaky right now. We're not that freaky. Right? So we just ended up with the one. I also couldn't figure out how to fit the word in, so I like kind of pushed that task off to future Stonewall, and future Stonewall here wasn't very fun to put in, but we found a way. I was thinking of having like more of a cloudy sky kind of thing, just to work on the backgrounds. But the issue is, it's more of I can't think of backgrounds that would be relevant to the power, because sometimes there are like backgrounds that you know that like make sense, but like this one, he's not transforming the environment, so there isn't really an environment that would make sense for it. So it just kind of ends up being bad. I do kind of wish I made the lowered hand a little smaller. I'm definitely looking back on it now. But outside of that, I think it was fun. I mean, I think this is a pretty okay drawing. I don't think it's my bestest work ever. You can see here, I went and looked up what wings looked like, so that's what the tab out was for. And then I started drawing them fundamentally differently, oddly enough. But yeah. So I wish I kind of drawn that bottom hand a little smaller. Just I don't know, it looks a little odd in its current stat in its current state. So you know, um, post post redraw. All right, so sorry about that. I'll try to cut what I can, but um, one of my roommates has a cat, and that cat was like was knocking on my door, and so like I went back, and he's because I don't know why, but he just really wanted to get in, and so I thought somebody was like calling me, but yeah, that was a bit of a predicament. So yeah, sorry about that. That kind of threw me off my game a little bit there. Regardless, for the backgrounds, or for the shading rather, the backgrounds in a second. I do like the shading I did for the legs here. I think I'll try to use that more in the future. Kind of put the black on and then put the white after the fact, especially with it being much more of a darker color. I think that was pretty good. I don't know, felt pretty good doing it that way. I also like the way I did the hoodie here. It felt very defined, where like the different folds and stuff were. felt. So that was a very good feeling, right? Um, obviously I don't go for super realistic, but having at least some idea where stuff is and where stuff is folding and where stuff is doing this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that and another is obviously always good. So, did I start on the background here? Did I continue? I think I did a little bits of shading. I want to say. I don't know. Regardless, yeah. No, I think I was. I think something was just happening with my software there. But yeah, in terms of the actual drawing, talking about more at large while we finish up the shading here. I thought it was okay. I think it's fine. I don't think it's egregious. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's a very B tier kind of drawing, where it feels like, eh, like I'm not, don't love it, don't hate it, right? Yeah. So also, excuse any background audio. There is a hamster in my room, and a dwarf hamster at that. And he is running around on his wheel, being a silly little guy. So that is the reason for any weird audio stuff. Or if this has to be a little quieter, that's because I had to account for the echo, which I'll try to fix in post. But what? So yeah, if you don't hear a word every now and then, that's probably why. Because between a cat knocking on my door and a dwarf hamster being a silly little guy, I got a lot of animals around me, right? Despite that, the only animal we should be talking about is the beast in this painting. I bet y'all thought I was going to say the beast inside. Psych. Y'all got psyched out. Regardless, I like the way I shaded the hoodie. I think the clothing here is oddly enough the spotlight, despite the fact that he has wings, tails, and claws. Yeah, it's just fun to see that somehow like the clothing is the most impressive part of the piece, which that's I guess it makes sense, right? Um, Regardless, we're getting to the end here. I fiddled around with some backgrounds. I was kind of thinking of purple at the start, but it just looked ugly. So I ended up going with my classic red. Um, I don't know. Red's just it's just a go-to color, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't couldn't tell you why. I bet somebody smarter than me could tell me why I choose red as like my go-to background color. But I am not that person, and I don't think I'll ever be that person. So regardless, I tried to have some darker reds and some lighter reds, and I think it did a pretty decent job. Unfortunately, I wish I kind of erased the outline for the words in the background. It just ends up kind of looking like an eyesore in the final product. And I tried to make it work, but then I ended up just writing it down here because it's for a thumbnail, so it's small enough for me to notice. Regardless, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Sorry for any audio problems that were in this one. I explained it a little earlier, but I still want to say sorry for it. Again, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, see ya.